Investigators racing against the clock to find Nancy Guthrie as the second and final deadline for an alleged ransom expires at 5 o'clock local time today. Investigators searching around her house again over the weekend, including examining that septic tank in the backyard, and we're also seen using a topographic map. Our next guest knows the area very well. Mark Lamb is the former sheriff of the neighboring area, Pinal County, and he joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ainsley. How are you doing?
Good morning. Doing great. Let's kind of unpack what happened over the weekend. Septic tank. Why are they searching that?
Well, you can't leave any stone unturned. You know, on the septic tank, you see how big the opening is. You don't want to find out a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now when you actually catch the suspect that her body was in there. And so you've got to check that. Maybe a cell phone was flushed down the toilet. Maybe some other device that might give them some information is in there. They've got to check it. And that, obviously, you can see you can put a lot in there.
Okay, what about the terrain? We were told that terrain's harder to search. I would think it'd be easier because there's no grass. Tell me about that since you live in that area.
That terrain is very difficult. There's some topographical changes. And I'll tell you what, I've walked in those deserts looking for people coming in this country illegally. You can be within feet of people and not see them. There's that low brush, that desert brush. And then you've got not far from there, that starts to change. It starts to get much more rough and it starts to get much more sparse. A lot of houses in that area as well. These are custom homes. So it's all types of different terrain mixed in with custom houses, walls. There's a lot that they've got to search in that area. And it's a significant neighborhood of custom homes and desert landscape that you would have to search.
Okay, Mark, they're searching also over the weekend around 5 p.m. on, Thursday. They were seen at the mall, the La Encantada Mall. You probably know where that is, in the parking lot. What's the latest there?
Well, Ainsley, when you look at that area, there's a lot of those custom houses, but then there's only a handful of intersections, major intersections that they would have had to have left that through if they were leaving in a car, or if they were prepping or staging in an area prior to taking Nancy Guthrie, if indeed she was kidnapped. So you're going to look at that area, which would be a good staging area, or an area where they may have exited through, which is you're going to pull up all the cameras. Most of these businesses are going to have cameras, like the Circle K and other businesses. So I imagine that they're going through and making sure that they have every bit of footage that they can get of a potential suspect or suspect car that may have gone through that area prior or after the crime was committed.
All right, so Mark, what do you think happened here? I know they went back and they searched the sister, Savannah Guthrie's sister's house. The last people to see her on Saturday night was the son-in-law, Nancy's son-in-law, who dropped her off at the house. Is it usually a family member? I know they're saying no suspects. I'm not saying that here, but what do you think happened?
Look, I think the statistic, Ainsley, is over 90% of cases like this are committed by somebody who is familiar with the family member or the person that was abducted, or a family member themselves. We don't like to have to be the person that has to deliver this type of message, but you have to look at them. Always, when you look at a crime, you look at means, opportunity, and then you find motive. If you can find motive on all three of those, and then the means and the opportunity, you're going to be able to narrow down your suspect list. But you're going to have to look at the close family members because they had the means and the opportunity. And now you're looking for that digital footprint that can exonerate them. Really, what you're trying to do is say, hey, we want to make sure that you're not part of this. But at the same time, that's probably where you're going to have to start your investigation most thoroughly, right there with the family or anybody that was very familiar with the home or them.
Mark, everyone around the country is talking about this. It's a high-profile case. Do you think we'll have answers this week?
I sure hope. I mean, for the family's sake, I hope. But also, Ainsley, you know, look, there are people that go missing in this country every day. There are children that go missing to the tune of tens of thousands of children every day. I would hope that the media and the law enforcement will give the same effort that they've given to this case to those families who oftentimes they don't get this type of assistance from the media or this type of attention. And we should be probably giving children who go missing just as much attention, if not more. So I hope this is a learning experience, or we use this to really focus on, hey, when somebody goes missing, we should expend these resources for anybody that goes missing.
Okay, Mark, thank you so much, and thanks for your service.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.